Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your last Raw episode of the decade for December 29th, 2019. First off, we got birthdays from December 29th. Justin Roberts, he was born 1979. Ray Phoenix, December 30th birthday, Ray Phoenix, 1990. PCO, 1967. New Year's Eve birthday, Matt Cross, 1980. And WWE NXT superstar Danny Burch turned 38 years old. Injury from a house show live event, Randy Orton from Hershey, Pennsylvania. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton ended in no contest when the referee stopped the match due to an injury to Orton when Styles blocked the RKO attempt and Orton's left knee gave out. Title change twice, 24/7. Basically, I'm doing a update on your SmackDown from the video from last week. 2-on-1 handicap match against R-Truth. Sunil and Samir beat 24/7 champion. R-Truth with Sunil pinned R-Truth to win the title, but then Samir rolled Sunil up to win the title when R-Truth rolled up Samir to win the title right back. This particular article did not say that the announcer also won the title in that segment. And you can also see the video in last week's on SmackDown video. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T has announced on Instagram the former NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon will be making a special appearance at his January 4th Reality of Wrestling event from World Gym Arena in Texas City, Texas. Booker writes, quote, WWE superstar at WWE Ember Moon returns to at Reality of Wrestling for a special appearance and meet and greet on Saturday, January 4th in Texas City at the World Gym Arena, unquote. Moon has been out of action with a torn Achilles and recently revealed on an episode of WWE Backstage that she will be out indefinitely for an indefinite amount of time. Randy Orton apparently is not injured. Also noted that there was concern over Orton suffering a leg or knee injury while wrestling AJ Styles at Sunday's live event in Hershey, Pennsylvania. WWE announced that this morning that Orton underwent a full medical evaluation and would be on tonight's Raw to address his injury in future. Tonight's Raw from Hartford, Connecticut, the final show of 2019, saw Orton come to the ring using crutches, both sides. He was helped into the ring and up to his feet by WWE crew member. Orton started to talk about injuries and said he would be out of action for a while because he really messed up his leg on Sunday. Orton ended the promo by promising that he would see to it that someone took an RKO at WrestleMania 36. Orton was then interrupted by AJ Styles, who came to the ring to taunt Orton. AJ tried to get Orton to strike him and said Orton must really be injured because he wouldn't lay a hand on him. AJ went on to say he would see Orton at WrestleMania and that he would retire him with the calf crusher. AJ also kicked out one of Orton's crutches, but the segment ended with Orton saying he has one thing, AJ doesn't, patience. And that's when he dropped the crutches to deliver the RKO to AJ. Orton posed in all four corners with no crutches, and he even stomped his left foot and right foot to make sure there was no, letting everybody know it was a ploy. Never trust a steak. The announcers noted on commentary that Orton is not injured and that the whole set was a ruse to take AJ out with RKO on tonight's Raw. It's possible that Orton suffered some sort of stinger or minor injury on Sunday, but he is medically cleared to compete because of the Raw angle he participated in. No word yet on if WWE has plans for Styles versus Orton at WrestleMania 36, but we will keep you updated. AJ defeated Orton in a singles match at WrestleMania 35 earlier this year. It's interesting to note that Orton mentioned his former tag team partner, WWE Hall of Famer Edge, during tonight's Raw speech when talking about how he's he's seen champions drop their titles because of injuries. He saw Edge relinquish his entire career due to an injury. There have been rumors of the Rated R Superstar returning to the ring in 2020, but he has denied those rumors on social media. There's also no word yet on if those Edge WWE return rumors may have something to do with Orton or Styles, but I'll keep you updated. This week's Raw from Hartford, Connecticut saw U.S. champion Andrade destroy a local enhancement talent who was not announced by a name. You can see that in this link. The man was named. Was Sean Donovan, who has wrestled for 18 years on the indie scene and works as a trainer and coach for Creative Pro Wrestling and their Wrestle Pro promotion from Raw Superstar Kurt Hawkins and the owner, WWE producer Pat Buck. Sean has also appeared for Impact Wrestling and several indie promotions. You can find him on Twitter at Sean Donovan 01. SmackDown superstar Kalisto may have suffered an injury at Monday's live event at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Correspondent in attendance sent word that Kalisto appeared to have suffered a serious shoulder injury, and he and Lince Dorado wrestled Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Kalisto went down on his shoulder, and then a referee immediately threw up the dreaded X symbol to end in the match as Revival pinned Kalisto to finish it. The bell then rang and Lucha House Party's music hit, indicating that they may have been the original winners. The same match happened during the ongoing post-Christmas live event tour, and Lucha House Party has been winning. Kalisto was checked on by WWE trainers, and the music played, and the Revival left. He did leave on his own, but was clutching what may have been his ribs or underarm area, and he was being closely watched by WWE trainers as he walked to the back. And this is a promo of Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler on Fox's New Year's Eve edition, which was taped last Friday at the SmackDown in Brooklyn from Barclays Center. It was noted that the other WWE superstars are also scheduled to appear on Fox's New Year's Eve with Steve Harvey, live from Times Square special. But it was not at Times Square, it was at the tapings. And also a video of Kathy Kelly at this link talking to Roman Reigns and guest ring announcer Maria Menounos after Reigns' big win over Dolph Ziggler during the Fox's New Year's Eve with Steve Harvey, live from Times Square special. Joey noted earlier that Mojo Rawley and 24/7 champion R-Truth also traded the title on the special. And you can go to this link and see that match, is the shots from the match as well as Elias's appearance. As Menounos was the one who counted the pins, as she was wearing a WWE referee shirt. Results from the match: Dolph Ziggler versus Roman Reigns. The winner of the final at WWE match of the decade, the Big Dog at WWE Roman Reigns. Hashtag NYE on Fox. New Year's Eve party from Times Square in New York. Mojo Rawley pinned R-Truth to become the 24/7 champion. Moments later, Rawley confronted Elias, who smashed a guitar over his head and allowed R-Truth to win the title back to begin his 30th championship reign in under a year. At that late. If you are enjoying WWE 2K20, wait a minute. I have some bad news for you in this year. And this is not from Bad News Barrett. The game has another bug that doesn't allow many of the modes to be playable in the year 2020. As soon as the date changed to the new year, players' games crash and kick them out. Everyone else just been locked out of the game or will crash upon clicking on the mode. The only current solution is to disconnect from the internet and reset your system's internal clock to a date in 2019. Make it a year. No official patch has been announced by 2K Games or Visual Concepts. The game has been notorious with its bugs since the launch, and every week a new set of patches has released upon until last month. The company who originally worked on these games, Yuke's, pulled out of the project last year, and the entire game was created by an in-house studio. Yuke's, however, is working on another wrestling game that they're describing as an unlicensed alternative to the WWE 2K series. Thanks to the news of 2K Games and Yuke's. Andrade and Charlotte Flair rang the new year by announcing their engagement on Twitter. Congratulations to them. So now they're engaged. WWE taped the following matches from Monday at Hartford, Connecticut for this week's main event. Mojo Rawley versus No Way Jose. Chelsea Green versus Sarah Logan at the Queen of NE. Yes, Sarah Logan versus Chelsea Green on hashtag main event, hashtag Raw. Can be found in this link. As you get Mojo Rawley defeating No Way Jose, Chelsea Green defeated Sarah Logan. Back to a more Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler match was taped at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit after SmackDown 2019 went off the air. The match saw Reigns defeat Ziggler with a spear. Celebrity friend Maria Menounos served as special guest ring announcer for the match and also was a special referee for your 24/7. And she's also co-host for the Fox New York In My E special, along with WWE celebrity friend Rob Gronkowski, who was also there with Mojo Rawley. I noticed him myself, and immediately tweeted my brother, not my brother, but my brother from another mother, Robert. WWE confirmed on SmackDown that Ziggler would be Reigns' opponent for the previously match to air on the Fox In My E special. It was believed that the match would air live from Times Square in New York City. But that's not the case. As you can see in the arena, it's not Times Square. The WWE announced that the other superstars will be on next week's In My E special, but there's no word yet on who will be appearing. As I told you earlier, who was on it. Okay. The final Raw 2019 opened up with a usual video package live from the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Vic Joseph welcomes us to the final Raw of the decade. He hypes tonight's wedding of Lana and Bobby Lashley, plus Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy, noting that it stole the show at TLC a few weeks back. Vic is joined by Hall of Famer Jerry King Lawler, and that's it. That's it for the announcements for Raw. We go right to the ring. Out comes Kevin Owens. Owens says, "We're going to cut right to the business tonight. Want to know why?" He shows us why. We see a replay from last week's Christmas episode where Seth Rollins in the Authors of Pain took out Owens, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe later on. Owens goes on about Rollins and AOP beating him up for weeks now. Owens says he will keep calling them out and getting beat up, but sooner or later he's taking one of these idiots down with him. Fans cheer him on. Owens has a problem with their actions, having an effect on guys in the back that he looks up to. And the first name that comes to mind is Rey Mysterio. He talks about how it made him sick to watch that they did last week. Owens blames the attack on Rey, losing the WWE US title a few days later to at Madison Square Garden live event. We see footage from the title change at Madison Square Garden on Thursday night during the non-televised event. Owens has had enough. The music interrupts. Out comes Rollins, a common Rezar. As a bit of pyro goes off, Owens can't wait to fight. Rollins takes the mic and says Owens is still failing to see the big picture. This isn't something he chose. This is something that was forced upon him by people like Owens who think they know best. Rollins says that this is his sacrifice for the greater good. To be a leader, a messiah, to take the industry into the next decade. Fans boo him. Rollins says Owens left him no choice but to impose his will. If Owens resists, AOP will enforce his will. Owens exits the ring and charges at AOP, but they beat him up and roll him back in the ring as Rollins taunts on the mic. AOP double teams Owens in the ring as he tries to fight back. Music interrupts. Out comes Samoa Joe to a pop. AOP tries to stop Joe at ringside, but he takes them both down. Joe hits the ring and brawls with Rollins. Joe unloads and applies a killer touch for a pop. AOP makes a save, and here comes Owens with a steel chair shot in the ring. Rollins stops Owens, but Owens fights him off in the corner. Security fills the ring now as the superstars are held back. Joe breaks free and attacks Rollins again. Rollins retreats to the floor, and they let them fight starts from the crowd. Security has AOP, and Rollins held back at ringside. Owens goes to the top and nails a huge senton from the top to the floor on Rollins. AOP and security. There's chaos at ringside as Joe joins in again. We go to commercial with bodies everywhere. What do they think this? What do they think this is? ECW theme song? Let the bodies hit the floor. Back from the break, we see what just happened. Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens backstage talking about how they will keep bringing the fight. Kayla Braxton appears and informs them that security is on the way. She asks Joe why he got involved. Joe says he doesn't have a choice to get involved. Rollins forced him to get involved. Joe goes on and says Rollins made it to where Owens will never stand alone again. Owens says he's known Joe for a long time and known a lot of bad people, but no one as bad as Joe, and he means that in the nicest way. He didn't imagine that anyone would be by his side for this fight, but he's glad it's Joe. Owens assumes security is coming to remove them from the building. Security shows up and surrounds them. Owens and Joe talk about fighting again next week, and then issue a warning to security guards. They leave without being touched by security. First matchup, we got Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. We go to the ring. Out comes Aleister Black for his rematch from TLC, which Black won. Vic says the WWE Universe has been salivating at this rematch as the original stole the show at TLC. Out next comes Buddy Murphy. The bell rings and they size each other up. Going for a few kicks, Black takes it to the corner. Murphy connects in a positive headlock, taking Black to one knee and back up. Murphy drops Black with a shoulder. Then runs the ropes and Murphy nails a hurricanrana. Black is sent to the floor. Murphy goes to run, but takes a seat in the middle of the ring. To taunt Black, as Black rushes back in, they have some words as Murphy rolls back up. Murphy gets sent out and runs right back in, but this time it's Black taking a seat in the middle of the ring, staring him down. They go at it, and Black chops Murphy for a quick 1 count. Black with a knee to the gut and a suplex for a 1 count. Black keeps Murphy grounded in the middle of the ring. Black levels Murphy with a kick to the face. Black with strikes in the face and the body in the corner, like a boxing match. Murphy fights back with the strikes of his own, but Black shuts him down. Black charges with a big kick to the face and then another 1 count. Black keeps Murphy grounded and then takes him back to the corner. Black nails a kick to the chest. They take counters near the corner. Murphy sends Black face first into the turnbuckles. Murphy goes to the top, but Black leaps up and nails a big kick to the mouth. Black climbs up for a superplex, but Murphy fights back. Murphy slides down, but runs into a boot to the face. Murphy comes right back and drops Black face first into the top turnbuckle. Black falls out to the floor as we go to commercial. Black from the break, and Black nails a big moonsault out to the floor. Black brings it back in the ring and unloads with strikes. Taking Murphy down, Black drops Murphy again and nails another moonsault for a close 2 count. Murphy ends up kicking Black out of the ring to the floor off of a counter. Black comes back with a big kick to the head from the floor. Black comes to the apron and nails another kick, sending Murphy down in the ring. Black goes to the top, but is forced to roll through. Murphy counters and drops Black face first. Murphy nails a drop kick and goes for the pin, but the referee catches him using his feet on the ropes for leverage. Murphy sends Black to the floor and kicks him back. Murphy runs the ropes and leaps out onto Black. Murphy brings him back in the ring and goes up top for the big double knee. Black still kicks out of 2. Fan chant, this is awesome. Now, Murphy stomps away and kicks Black down. Murphy goes to the top, but Black cuts him off. Murphy keeps fighting Black goes up for a superplex, but Murphy counters and sends him to the mat. Murphy leaps for the sunset flip and rolls through with a sit-down powerbomb for another close 2 count. Murphy is up first as Black works to get up. Black nails the knee, but Murphy super kicks him back. Black catches a lick and kicks the other leg out. They both unload with big strikes and counters in the middle of the ring. Murphy counters a jumping knee. More back and forth. Black nails the brainbuster for a close 2 count. Fans cheer them on as they work to get back up. More back and forth with counters. Black nails the Black mask in the middle of the ring. Fans pop as Black ready for and connects with a second Black mask. Black covers for the pin to win. After the match, Black recovers and his music plays. We go to replays. Seth Rollins backstage with AOP. Okama Rezar arguing in another language. Rollins wants to know what's going on. Okama Rezar have each side covered and say no one will kick them tonight. Rollins laughs and says management has just asked them to leave. No one is kicking them out. He said WWE is trying to close the year without their Messiah, but the show will be canceled before the next match. They won't last. Security shows up, but Rollins says they aren't leaving voluntarily. Rollins tells AOP to clear the way, and he follows as they leave without incident. Eric Rowan confronts Lana backstage, and he's upset about not receiving a wedding invite. He says, "We don't care anyway," referring to his mystery pet in the cage. Rowan yells out at Lana and walks off, leaving her confused and annoyed. Back for the break. Later we will hear from Randy Orton on his injury. Eric Rowan versus Kip Stevens. Another jobber. This week, we go to the ring. Out comes Eric Rowan with his mystery pet cage. And has talent, Kip Stevens waits in the ring. The bell rings and Stevens is terrified as he exits the ring after ducking a clothesline. Rowan goes after and tries to find out where his opponent went. He goes back from under the ring and gets too close to the mystery cage. Rowan comes over and destroys the jobber. Rowan checks on the cage before going back in the ring and dominating some more. Rowan then slams the jobber and nails a running splash. Rowan covers for the pin, but stops before the 3 count. Rowan nails an iron claw slam in the middle of the ring and covers for the pin and the win. After the match, Rowan stands tall, music plays, we got to replays. Lana is in a room somewhere, getting ready for her wedding. She's talking to herself about how everyone loves her and obsesses over her. We go to commercial. Charlotte Flair versus Natalya was up next. Back for the break. Out comes Charlotte to the ring. Power goes off for her entrance. Flair takes the mic and announces that she will be in the 30 Women Royal Rumble match on January 26th. Flair says that everyone knows she was going to be in the match, so why come out and just state the obvious? She could talk about being in a 10-time champion, main eventing WrestleMania, and so on. She goes on bragging and says she's tired of bragging about being the queen of WWE, and the fans are tired of hearing her say it. She wants to show us why she's the queen. Flair says she has her boots on and her favorite robe on, and so who wants to come out and bow down to the queen? Music hits. Out comes Natalya to answer the challenge. We got a commercial. Back to the break, and the bell rings as they go at it. Flair gets the upper hand and takes Natalya down to the mat. They fight up, but Flair levels Natalya and grounds her again. Natalya counters and sends Flair to the apron. Flair fights back in after a shoulder thrust and rolls Natalya up for a 2 count. Natalya turns it around, runs and steps on Flair's head from the back. But Flair counters and nails a huge clothesline in the middle of the ring. Natalya makes another quick comeback and nails a clothesline of her own in the middle of the ring. Flair kicks out at 2. Natalya argues with the referee and talks some trash. Natalya with a surfboard submission in the middle of the ring now. The hold is broken, and Flair comes back with a big kick to the face for a 2 count. Becky Lynch will give an exclusive interview later on, according to Vic. Flair takes Natalya to the corner, then to another corner. Flair works on the leg and bends it over the rope, then kicks a knee. Flair focuses on the leg, but misses and lands on her own knee. Natalya sends Flair into turnbuckles face first. Natalya with a face first shot and the steel steps. Natalya grabs Flair over the bottom rope, the bottom of the ramp, and hits a suplex on the floor. Natalya brings Flair back into the ring and stomps. Natalya covers for a 1 count. Natalya yells at the crowd to shut up and then nails a suplex. Natalya talks trash in Flair's face, but Flair rocks her. Natalya fights Flair into the corner and unloads, beating Flair down as the referee backs her off. Natalya charges, but Flair moves, and she hits the ring post. Flair applies a unique monster crab, while Natalya's body is on the middle turnbuckles now. Flair on the top, referee counts and Flair lets go. Natalya falls out to the floor. The referee counts. 24/7 champion R-Truth comes running by as a group of superstars chase him around the ring a few times. Some of them enter the ring, but Flair has had enough as she levels Eric Young with a big boot to the face. Truth runs away, and the group of superstars are right behind him. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Flair has Natalya up top for a superplex. Natalya fights her off and sends her to the mat. Natalya flies with a big crossbody, but Flair kicks out at two. Natalya clutches her ribs, and Flair goes to work on them. They trade more shots in the middle of the ring, but Natalya nails a German suplex. Natalya continues working extra aggressive tonight and yells before going back to work on Flair. Flair misses a running boot in the corner. Natalya picks her up and walks with her, then drops her with a big sit-down powerbomb. Flair kicks out just in time. Natalya then goes for the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring, but Flair rocks her. More back and forth. Referee has to get in between them against the ropes. Natalya goes for the discus clothesline, and Flair goes for the big boot, and they take a look in. Flair drops Natalya for a close 2 count, and Flair can't believe that she kicks out. Flair goes back to work on the hurt knee again. Natalya counters as they go for the submission finisher, but can't get them. Flair counters and barely connects with a natural selection for a 2 count. Flair goes on for the moonsault, but Natalya gets the knees up. That's countered as their submission. They try submissions again. Flair hits a big boot and goes for the figure 4 again. She transitions into the figure 8 as Natalya yells out. Natalya looks for the ropes, but finally has to tap out. After the match, Flair stands tall, poses as the music plays. Flair shows off some as the referee checks on Natalya, who is down clutching her knee. Charlie Caruso is backstage with the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, who gets a pop in the arena. Caruso brings up how Asuka agreed to her challenge last week, but no date was set. Becky confirms that the match will with Asuka for the 2020 Royal Rumble. Caruso asks how she got it done. Becky says her WWE contract is coming up, and she wouldn't even discuss a new contract until she gets the match. She couldn't shut her mouth and got one of the biggest contracts ever. But money and status are important. If this is on top of the world, she doesn't want it. She's a woman, became the face of the business, but now she needs to know that it was worth it. Lynch doesn't know if she can beat Asuka, but she's going to wipe her record if it kills her. She walks off. And we see Bobby Lashley somewhere getting ready for the wedding. Lawler says he looks nervous. We go to commercial. Back from the break, we get a new Liv Morgan teaser video for her makeover in return. Liv says someone made her feel different, and then they took it away. The old Liv would have done something impulsive, but the new Liv is way more methodical. She strikes when she's ready, and she thinks she's ready. Are you? To be continued. Promo says. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, the club, the only club, the OC versus the Street Profits. We go to the ring, and out comes the OC. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson with AJ Styles. We see the World Cup Tag Team Trophy at ringside. Styles takes the mic and says, if anyone still needs proof that Raw belongs to OC, here's proof. We see Gallows and Anderson defeating Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, in a non-title match 2 weeks ago. We also see how the OC defeated the Vikings and Randy Orton in a 6-man match last week. Anderson and Gallows also take the mic, and Gallows calls the champs goofs, but the music interrupts. Out come the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Ford and Dawkins speak for the stage and go on about how, yes, the OC did beat the champs, and yes, they did become the greatest tag team in the world. But what does it mean for the Profits? As they defeated Gallows and Anderson during their Raw debuts. The Profits, red cups in hand, continue working the mic as they head to the ring. AJ says they were just lucky with their win. AJ said the best thing for them to do is stick to the cute little sticks backstage, or else they might get hurt. Dawkins isn't afraid of a group that's named after a teen soap opera, the OC. Gallows cuts him off and tells them to get in the ring so they can get their butts kicked. Right now, Ford and Dawkins get hyped up as they make it known that they want to smoke. Ford and Dawkins in the ring, and here we go. Dawkins starts off with Anderson as they lock up. Ford comes in for some double teaming in the corner. Ford shows off some and takes Anderson down by his arm. Ford talks some trash, and AJ looks on and does the same. Ford keeps control for a 2 count. Dawkins comes back in and levels Anderson again. Dawkins tells the referee about AJ grabbing his foot. They have words, and the referee ejects AJ to the back as the crowd cheers. AJ argues with the referee some more. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Anderson has Ford down. We see how Ford was slammed over the barrier during the commercial. Ford almost tags, but Anderson cuts him off. Anderson goes on and hits a neck breaker for a 2 count. Gallows comes in and overpowers Ford, driving him into the mat for a close 2 count. Gallows drives elbows down into Ford and keeps him grounded as Dawkins shouts words of encouragement. Ford looks to mount some offense now, but Gallows levels him with a big boot for a 2 count. Gallows goes on and nails a leg drop for another pin attempt. Gallows grounds Ford with a headlock and works him over while down. Dawkins and the fan try to rally for Ford. Gallows rocks Ford and then knocks Dawkins off the apron. Gallows turns back around and hits a big drop kick from Ford. Anderson tags in. Ford counters Anderson and finally makes a tag. Dawkins unloads on Anderson and knocks Gallows off the apron. Dawkins uppercuts Anderson and drop kicks Gallows as he comes back in. Dawkins keeps control of both opponents and hits splashes in the corner. Anderson goes on and drops Anderson with a bulldog for another close 2 count. Gallows comes back in, but Dawkins drops him with a big right hand. Anderson with a big spine buster on Dawkins for another 2 count. Anderson knocks Ford from the apron to the barrier. Gallows with a neck breaker to Dawkins in the middle ring for a 2 count. Anderson tags back in, and they go at it. They nail a magic killer on Dawkins, but Ford makes a save. Ford and Gallows tangle. Ford drop kicks Gallows. Anderson whips Ford, but Ford leaps out to take Gallows down on the floor. Dawkins hits the sky high on Anderson. Ford tags in and flies high from the top rope with a frog splash to get the pin on Anderson to win. After the match, the Profits celebrate as the music hits. We get replays, including AJ being ejected to the back. Ford and Dawkins stand tall in the ring as Gallows and Anderson look on from the ramp. Vic and Lawler hype Asuka versus Lynch for the 2020 Royal Rumble. We see Lawler in the back somewhere looking at the flowers for her wedding. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Street Profits are backstage celebrating. They do some really bad comedy and back and forth, then plug the Lana Bobby Lashley wedding. They make it known that they want the smoke with the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders. Then walk off. 2-on-1 handicap match, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins versus Drew McIntyre. We go back to the ring. Out first comes Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder for this handicap match. Drew McIntyre is out next. Apparently, Drew has turned face. McIntyre takes the mic, walks in the ring as the opponents stare him down. Drew calls himself the sexy Scotsman and taunts a fan at ringside. McIntyre issues a poll to Hartford and says he hopes everyone got real pretty because they're about to be on TV. Well, who always did the poll? From the Triple Threat Tag Team? New Jersey. All right, with a show of hands, who thinks Drew should be worried tonight? Not much of a reaction. Now, who thinks the 2 guys he brutalized, eviscerated, and slaughtered last week should be extremely worried tonight? More of a reaction. Drew says it's unanimous and the people have spoken. Just like everyone who gets in the ring with him, they will be put down. Ryder goes out after Drew as the bell rings. Drew catches him and rams Ryder into the barrier. Vic says the bell did not ring, but it sounded like it. Drew takes out Ryder at ringside and goes into the ring as the bell rings. Drew charges Hawkins and lays him out. Drew waits for Hawkins to get up and immediately puts him back down with a Claymore kick. Ryder comes back in, but Drew nails a future shot DDT in the middle of the ring. Drew stacks Ryder on top of Hawkins and covers for the pin and the win the squash match. After the match, Drew stands all over his victims and yells out as his music hits. We go to replays. Show to come segment. Randy Orton will address his knee injury from Sunday's live event in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and his WWE future back to commercial. Back for the break, and the following is announced for next week's Raw from Oklahoma City, the first Raw of 2020. First Raw of the decade. The return of WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Not a match. Rey Mysterio's rematch against new U.S. Champion Andrade. Plus, triple threat for the Raw Tag Team titles with the Viking Raiders defending against the Street Profits and the OC. We go to the ring. Out comes Randy Orton using crutches. Double crutches. The WWE crew member helps Orton get on the apron. Vic mentions how Orton was injured at Sunday's live event in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Crew member helps Orton into the ring and up to his feet with the crutches, but it exits the ring. Fans chant Orton's name as he takes the mic. Heavily leaning on one of the crutches, he talks about the injuries happening in his business and says it kills him that he needed help. He needed help to get into the ring tonight in front of the fans. Orton pauses as fans chant his name some more. Orton mentions seeing champions relinquish their titles due to injuries, but one man he doesn't respect is WWE, who he does respect is WWE Hall of Famer Edge, who had to relinquish his career due to an injury. Orton says no one wants to see that happen. He says he's rambling now. Orton says he's landed bad on his knee and screwed it up last night. And as he heard it pop, he didn't know how bad it was until he got the MRI results this morning. Orton says he's going to be out of the ring for a very long time, and there's a good chance that he won't be able to come back. Fans aren't happy with this news. Orton seems like he may be working here. Fan chant no now. Orton says no matter what happens, he is going to make sure somebody takes the RKO at WrestleMania 36. This is his promise. Music interrupts, and out comes AJ Styles. Styles comes out alone on stage, calling for a timeout. Fans boo. AJ doesn't like the idea of not getting to fight Orton again in the ring until WrestleMania. AJ is in the ring now, staring Orton down. Fans chant for the RKO. AJ taunts Orton. AJ goes on and offers to put his hands behind his back and close his eyes. Stick his shin out. Orton won't take a shot. AJ says Orton must really be hurt. AJ says he can be patient, and we'll see Orton at WrestleMania 36. That's where he will retire him with a calf crusher. AJ goes to leave, but instead he comes back and kicks one of Orton's crutches out. Orton manages to lean on the rope for support and stay up, but winces in pain. Fan chant AJ sucks now. Orton stops, and AJ says the biggest difference between them is that AJ is patient. Orton is not. Orton suddenly drops AJ with a huge RKO. Orton is not hurt. He suckered AJ in. Fans pop big as Orton hits the corner to pose. Doing his little shit. As the music hits, Orton does a signature pose in the opposite corner as AJ tries to recover on the mat. Vic Joseph shows us footage of Andrade winning the WWE title, U.S. title from Rey Mysterio at last Thursday's live event in Madison Square Garden. Rey will get his rematch next Monday in Oklahoma City. We see a backstage footage of Rey at Madison Square Garden. Rey says he's counting on getting his rematch from Andrade, but he's not done with the Seth Rollins and AOP. Rey promises that when this is all over, he will be standing tall. Booyaka, 649. Andrade versus Enhancement Talent. They didn't give him a name at all. We got a ring. Out comes new U.S. champion Andrade with Zelina for the non-title match. Back to commercial. Back for the ring. Andrade is going at it with a local Enhancement Talent who has not been named. Andrade dominates and hits all signature moves. The jobber tries to fight some to no avail. As Andrade keeps control, Andrade was running double knees in the corner and as Vega cheers him on. Andrade looks to finish the match with a double underhook DDT, but Vega barks orders from ringside. Andrade goes to ringside to expose the concrete by pulling the mat up. Andrade wins more shots to the jobber. Music interrupts. Out comes Ricochet to make the save. Before Andrade can use the concrete, Ricochet takes the mic and says, "It's not going to go down like that tonight." Ricochet says Andrade did this to Humberto Carrillo and Rey Mysterio, but if Andrade wants a fight Ricochet now. Ricochet drops the mic and waits in the ring for a fight as Vega and Andrade look talk on the apron. He doesn't ask it to be a championship match. He just asks for a fight. Back from the break, the non-title match is underway as they go at it. Back and forth start. U.S. champion Andrade nails a huge drop kick off of another distraction by Vega. Andrade keeps control in the ring as Vega exposes the concrete again on the floor. Andrade keeps Ricochet down and stands tall, showing off. Fans boo him, but Vega cheers him on. Andrade with a unique submission in the middle of the ring. Ricochet sides out and rolls Andrade up for a 2 count. And then another. Ricochet looks to make a comeback. Ricochet drop kicks Andrade out to the floor. Ricochet runs and leaps over, sending them both into the barrier. Referee counts as they both are down on the floor. Ricochet brings it back in, but Andrade rolls back out to the floor on the opposite side. Fans boo him. Ricochet comes over, but Andrade rams him back into the barrier as Vega watches. Andrade rams Ricochet back into the apron. Andrade brings Ricochet to the exposed concrete, but Ricochet fights back with a forearm. Vega with another distraction as Ricochet charges, but Andrade backdrops him onto the exposed concrete. We got a commercial. Back for the ring, Andrade has Ricochet down in the ring. Ricochet fights up in front of the mat, but Andrade chops him. Ricochet comes back with a big enziguri. Ricochet mounts more offense and hits a drop kick out of the corner. Ricochet plays to the crowd as they cheer him on. Ricochet knows the standing shooting star press, but Andrade still kicks out of 2. Andrade grabs Vega's hand from the ring as Ricochet tries to drag him to the center. Andrade blocks the recoil with a shot to the throat. They trade more big shots. Andrade levels Ricochet with a big elbow, but Ricochet still kicks out of 2. Vega and Andrade are frustrated. Andrade goes for the hammerlock DDT, but it's blocked. Ricochet rolls Andrade up for a 2 count. Andrade misses a big shot, but Ricochet super kicks him. Ricochet drives Andrade down to the mat again. Ricochet goes to the top, but Vega gets involved and shoves him from the top. Ricochet lands hard on the mat. Andrade nails a hammerlock DDT in the middle of the ring as Vega screams at ringside. Andrade with a pin to win. After the match, Andrade and Vega take the title to the ramp to celebrate as the music hits. Ricochet looks on from the ring as Andrade and Vega stand tall on the ramp. We go to replays. We see Lana backstage again in her wedding dress, taking photos. Back to Marshall. Back with Rake, Sarah Schreiber is in the back with Zelina Vega and WWE U.S. Champion Andrade. Vega is all smiles after the win, and they both confident about this U.S. title reign, as they aren't worried about Rey Mysterio taking the title back when he gets his rematch next Monday. The announcers hype next week's Raw episode from Oklahoma City. It's time for the wedding of Lana and Bobby Lashley. Vic and the King send us to the ring, which is set for a typical wedding. The wedding officiant minister introduces the groom. First out comes Bobby Lashley. We see a bunch of empty seats on the stage, apparently for guests who did not want to come. Vic says Lana and Lashley have no friends, and no one wanted to accept the invitation. Lashley is wearing a tuxedo with the sleeves cut off. Didn't a lot of other people do this before? Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, and all that. And no shirt underneath. Officiant introduces Lana next, and out she comes in her wedding dress. Flowers in hand, Vic says they will officially tie the knot in the wedding of the decade next. Back to commercial. Back for the right, the officiant begins his speech, but fans start booing. He says he speaks for everyone when he says they hope Lana and Lashley have a love that makes them better versions of themselves. He goes on and mentions kids for the happy couple, but Lana interrupts and says she didn't put that in the script. She doesn't want a little monster coming out of her, giving her stretch marks and everything else, making her like all these Lana wannabes. She tells the man to read the script she gave him. He asks Lashley if he's sure he wants to continue. Fan chat, Rusev Day. As the officiant continues, Lana yells out that this isn't about Rusev. This is just dragging, and Lana is horrible. She's ready to get to the vows because the crowd won't stop chanting for Rusev. Lana says this is the luckiest day of Lashley's life because he's marrying the greatest WWE superstar in history. She goes on about how great she is and takes some shots at the fans. She goes on and on and on and says Lashley's whole life has led to this. This is what he's worked hard for. This is what his manhood is for. She just wants to jump on top of him and make love right now. They kiss. The officiant thanks Lashley for his restraint. The officiant says Lashley can begin when he wants to, but Lana won't shut up. Lana says she spent a lot of time on the vows that Lashley is about to read to her. Fans give the what treatment to Lashley, but Lana isn't happy. She keeps spelling her name out. I've never wanted to turn a WWE TV show off as bad as I do right now. Lashley said thanks Lana for allowing him to marry her. The officiant is ready to get to the ring now. These rings are symbols of the love they express. Lashley receives the ring from the officiant as the Rusev Day chants back up from the crowd. Lashley repeats after the officiant, and Lana interrupts again to hurry them up. The officiant gives the other ring to Lana now, but she interrupts him before he can ask her to repeat after him. Lana says her Bobby has always given her everything because it's all about her. And the officiant says this is the part he dreads. The officiant asks if there's anyone who believes that the two should not get married. Speak now, forever hold your peace. A man comes walking out wearing a suit, and he says he objects. This wedding is a sham and should not continue. The guy says he is Lana's first husband. He says he and Lana got married the day she turned 18. Then she left him for that son of a gun, Rusev. Lana tells the guy to get out of here. He's still in love with her. The guy calls Lashley a son of a gun and says Lana will do the same thing to him when something bigger and better comes along, because that's what she does. Lashley grabs the guy and manhandles him, driving him hard into the mat. The guy rolls out to the floor. The officiant asks if anyone else wants to speak out. The man goes to pronounce them man and wife, but out comes a woman who is objecting. Lashley looks worried. I myself couldn't tell the difference who it was. The woman tries to chant no as she hits the apron. She says she's Bobby's first wife. They met while Lashley was in the military, and it was so beautiful. Lana slaps the woman off the apron. Lana yells at the officiant and tells him to continue. The officiant asks one more time if anyone wants him to speak up. Well, another person I did not recognize, Liv Morgan, was out for her return. She objects and says this can't go on. The love of her life is right there. Liv says she would not have made it through this year if it wasn't for their love. She came to WWE, a lost soul, a wild teen who came to WWE. She goes on and says that she never knew she could hear herself until they met and fell in love with each other. Liv asked about Lashley. Liv is in the ring now. She's talking about Lana. Horrible. Liv asks Lana why she's doing this. You don't love him? Fan chant Liv. Now, as she drops the mic, Lana starts crying. Liv is also crying. Lana slaps Liv in the face and shoves her. They start brawling as the officiant and Lashley won't watch. Lana and Liv roll around the ring and brawling until a pair of referees pull them apart. The WWE officials are out from backstage now to break up the fight. Finley holds Liv back on the floor, but she runs back in the ring, then back out. Lana yells at the officiant to continue. The man is about to pronounce them man and wife, but the top of the huge fake cake is thrown off. I predicted this all along. Rusev pops out of the cake. Rusev then attacks Lashley and destroys him, beating him around the ring and yelling out. Lana's still crying. Fan chant for Rusev as he goes on to drop Lashley with a Machka kick. They actually gave him this an overrun. Liv runs back in and takes Lana down after Rusev pulls Lashley down. Rusev and Liv stand tall as the final Raw of 2019 finally goes off the air. This week's Raw episode from XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut saw Liv Morgan return to TV to help Rusev crashing the wedding of Lana and Bobby Lashley. Could this be their new faction? WWE released post-Raw footage of what happened after the final Raw of 2019 went off the air on the USA Network, which the post-show segment saw Liv and Rusev continue taunting Lana and throwing cake at her while she threw a fit and cried. The main segment saw the wedding officiant call on anyone who believes the marriage shouldn't happen, and when a man came forward to call the wedding a sham, claiming to be Lana's first husband when she was 18, the man was played by indie wrestler EJ Risk, according to PW Insider. Risk trained at the Creative Pro School at Wrestling Pro Promotion from Raw superstar Kurt Hawkins and producer Pat Buck. The wedding continued after Lashley destroyed the enhancement talent until a woman came out and claimed to be Lashley's first wife from when she was in the Army. Liv was in the Army? That woman was played by indie wrestler Carissa Rivera. Okay, well, that woman was, okay. Who was a New Jersey indie wrestler that has worked WWE NXT and SmackDown as an enhancement talent in the past. She lost to Lacey Evans on the November 14, 2018 NXT episode and later teamed with current AEW star Chris Statlander as the Brooklyn Bells for a loss to them. Then WWE's Women's Tag Team Champions, the Iconics, on April 9th, 2019 SmackDown show. You can find Carissa on Twitter at Carissa_Rivera. Several wrestlers from Creative Pro were also booked as wedding guests for the segment. According to PW Insider, the officiant was a local actor. For those who missed it, here's the video from the Raw closing segment, along with photos and videos from the segment, which will end. No, it won't. I got some more. Twitter account, WB, we have an objection. Hashtag Raw. Hashtag Lana Lashley wedding. At this link, WWE Universe. WWE Universe again. This is Atlanta WWE's first husband. At this link. Hashtag Raw. Hashtag Lana Lashley wedding. WWE. WWE again. We have another objection. At this link. It's at Fight Bobby's first wife. Hashtag Raw. Hashtag Lana Lashley wedding. Or talking about this. At WWE India, and this time we get intruded at this link by Fight Bobby's first wife, hashtag Raw, in the link. And that concludes my video for all this week. Thanks again, see you on one video, and also main event. Thanks again, peace out, see you on one video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.